Hello and welcome to another adventure. Here I am today in York, the beautiful historic city in the north of England, and at one of my favourite places to come and visit. This is the National Railway Museum, and in this video I'm going to take you around for a bit of a tour. We'll go and see all the different locos that are here. There's everything here, from old steam locomotives to an old Japanese bullet train, lots of different exhibitions, interactive things to see. There's model railways, there's everything here a railway enthusiast really likes. Now, if you've watched any of my theme park videos before over on Theme Park Worldwide, you'll know that I recently only just started driving last year, meaning that I actually used public transport a lot to get to a lot of the theme parks. This meant that I developed a real high interest in trains, and especially here in the UK, which has got some of the most beautiful trains in the world, in my opinion, the steam trains, and that's what we're going to be looking around in this video. Alex is here as well with me. He's not quite as up on me as trains, but I'm sure he'll enjoy looking around and seeing it, even if you don't really know a lot about it, but you're going to learn a lot about it as we go around. So the good thing about this museum is entrance is completely free. There is a suggested donation of £5, but you don't need to donate that, but I'd certainly recommend at least donating something, because this place is huge. So you can see we've just come here through the main entrance, and we're going to start off just here inside the station hall. Now, when you see how big this room is, you'll think, oh my god, how big is this place actually going to be? Because you've got all the outdoor section, the south yard just there with a miniature railway. Of course, we've got the great hall, which has got the turntable in, all the trains all the way around it, and the north shed as well. And in this video we'll cover it all, have a walk round and just see it. But yeah, we'll start off in the station hall, and like I say, if you look at the map just here, that's quite a big size. And then you look at the Great Hall, it's double the size really of that. And when I take you around this corner here and you see the station hall, this just shows how big this place is. This is the smaller of the two sheds. And you look at this, it goes all the way back down there. Lots of different locos to see, all nicely presented. And of course, you've got lots of carriages to see in here as well. So of course, to do a full tour in here all day could take you anything from 3-4 hours. You could even spend a day in here if you're a die-hard train enthusiast. Myself, I would not call myself a die-hard train enthusiast. I just enjoy them, but I do know quite a lot of different makes and models and things now, mainly from learning about them. I've actually got a model railway at home. Unfortunately, due to space, it's all packed up in boxes at the moment, but I do love a Hornby railway and hope at some point to actually set up my own train set again. But along with the actual locos, there's lots of signage and things to see. You've got like old benches and clocks from stations, all that kind of stuff. And it's really well presented in here as well, really nice and clean. There's like cafes and stuff around, obviously all your different facilities and things. And they do special talks as well. And I believe that at 3:30, which is an hour from now, we're actually going to get to see the turntable over in the Great Hall in action. So we'll be sure to go over and capture that for you guys. But lots of different boards and things to read. I won't sort of point everything out in this video. I'll just generally sort of take you around for a look, and we'll see some of the locos. Yeah, all these old signs and things just here. Look at this, all old signs from like the booking office and all that sort of stuff, from the station master. And yeah, lots to see. I mean, steam trains for me, you just look at these, and like, as much as I love modern trains and how things have evolved, there's nothing nicer than just seeing these classic steam locos, and obviously the coal being chucked in to burn to power the train. Stunning it really is. You can even go onto some of these trains and see different carriages, and you'll see that as well when we go over into the Great Hall. Look at this just here. I mean, it's just amazing, isn't it, to think that you'd have a couple of people working in here, obviously to steer it and obviously keep the coal going in there. Fantastic. Everything's been really nicely preserved and looked after as well. Like, bear in mind, some of these locos are really, really old, and we're going to get to see some classics here today, what are famous across the world. Hey, there's a reflection. But yeah, we'll sort of walk around and see those. But like, look at these carriages just here. You even see a bit of restoration work taking place just there on the right-hand side. The cornered that off there and doing a bit of painting. And it's great to see that these trains are all being looked after in this place. They've acquired a lot over the years. It opened 43 years ago, I believe, in 1975, and since then they've kept expanding, opening new rooms, and of course, when different trains have come out of operation, they come here to the National Railway Museum. No, you don't get this on your East Midlands train surface. Look at this in here. Got all your cushions just there on the chairs. little lamps at the side. Aren't they cute with that, the little lamps on the tables and things? And that is something what's expanded into the modern world of trains. I mean, if you go first class on some of your operator trains to this day, you'll still get like a little lamp and things. That's something what has moved on as the times have, really.
Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother.
Wow, there you go. Really nice, this one, all carpeted out in there, little desk there, look, as well.
It's a home away from home, isn't it?
It is. I'd be quite happy living on one of these, and it's just great to see that all this stuff is preserved for people in the future to come and appreciate for many years to come. And as long as these are looked after, then, which they are being doing, then obviously people will get to enjoy them for a very, very long time, which is great to see. Queen Mary's Saloon.
Anybody like me who travels on these Midlands trains to London and Pancras certainly doesn't get this luxury.
No, not anymore. You're lucky to get a seat these days, unfortunately.
With the premium prices, indeed. It's unfortunate, really, to see that commercial rail has become so expensive. I mean...
Yeah, we were just talking about this off camera, obviously. A lot of years ago, you know, we're talking, what, 40, 50 years ago now, but obviously National Rail, as it was at the time, British Rail, you know, it all got sort of sold off to franchises and things like Virgin Trains, East Midlands Trains. It all became all these different separate companies having to sort of battle it out on the railway instead of all uniting and working together, which is a shame, really. But at least we can still go on steam trains and things. There's a lot up and down the UK, actual working steam trains where you can go. We've got a couple near us. I know there's a really good one in Kidderminster as well, near Westminster Safari Park, which is worth checking out. Obviously Foxfield Railway, North Yorkshire Moors Steam Railway.
And as sad as it is to not have it commercially available to us, it's done very good for the tourism and trade industry, such as, you know, this railway museum that we're in now. It's nice to have tourist attractions where we can see our history in front of us, and I think in England especially we're very lucky to have such history that we can celebrate. You know, America's a very modern and very fresh country, whereas over here we do have things from 400, 500, 600 years ago that we're very proud of and very lucky to celebrate that fact, you know.
First class is yellow, and the third class is orange. That is looking at the national green, not like all the greens. So therefore, you've got a third class ticket, it's coming from first class.
So we've made our way out of the first shed, and we're on the little miniature railway just here now. This is £3 for a ticket. And obviously these are the locos that we're on just here, and you can sit in them little cabins there if you want to, or you can sit on these ones. It's basically like a bench. I've done quite a few of these, and funny or not, there's a few at some garden centres around the UK. You don't have to come somewhere like the Railway Museum to do these. But you can see the driver just down there at the front. And yeah, me and Alex just on it. It's nice, isn't it? On a nice sunny day. It's lovely. Yeah, there's quite a few. Yeah, quite a few of these out and around the country. Select opening times for this, and there is like another little steam train what you can go on as well. But I don't think that is open today. But this one is. I'm glad this is though. It's my favourite thing here actually. I like this. As it takes you around this little layout. It's not a massive layout, but it's nice to go on. Obviously the track just there. It's kind of like it's just your next sort of level up really. From sort of like your little model train. It's the sort of first sort of trains that you can actually go on a bit bigger scale than like your Hornby railways. But if I had a mansion at any point in my life, if I won the lottery, I'd definitely have one of these running around in my garden. It's just nice, isn't it? Like really relaxing. What's that?
You mean another mansion?
Oh yeah, I wish, yeah. It's a nice little layout, just takes you around here. And obviously spending £3 on this, bear in mind, you know, it's free to come in as well, so you're donating by riding this as well, which is good. So it's all supporting the guys here, and they do a fantastic job. It's not some small little museum, this, it's huge, and we're still yet to go into the Great Hall, which is certainly the highlight of the whole museum here. This is very nice, I love stuff like this. It's got a little charm to it. Even nicer on a summer's day, really making the most of the weather this year, I'm loving it. we are then, we've come to what in my opinion is the highlight of the National Railway Museum. Welcome to the Great Hall. And if you've never been here before, look at the size of it. This is just one section of it here. It's got a turntable in the middle, around the back just there. And yeah, so much to see. But we'll start off just here by looking at one of the modern railway pieces out there. And this is of course the Channel Tunnel, which is home to, of course, Eurotunnel and also the Eurostar. This is actually a replica of how one of those tunnels looks just there. And obviously anyone who knows this quite well will know that basically it's not just this tunnel here. You've got another tunnel, and then you've got little tunnels that actually connect them together for evacuation purposes, and there is like a road down there as well. But yeah,
I was just
stunning.
explaining to Sean that my grandfather and my father actually went on for the opening of the Eurotunnel in 1994.
It was.
When it first opened, and were there for the opening day and said, wow, it was something they never thought they'd ever see. And now we're getting these sort of tunnels all over the world, aren't we?
I mean, yeah, they'd have probably loved to have come and seen it here at the National Railway Museum.
This kind of concept of a tunnel, which I found really interesting, actually could be the dawning of one day being able to connect countries through underwater network system using silly as it sounds, inflatable tunnels. Now that idea may seem strange, but so would colour television to people in the 1950s.
Yeah, there's so much to see, and obviously all these pipes all home to all the power and things, and you've got your main electricity rails at the top there. And next to us here you've got one of the trains just there, one of the actual Eurostar trains that yeah, used to run on the line. Obviously a couple of years back Eurostar had a complete new fleet and completely did all the new carriages as well, which are fantastic. But if we go around here, it tells us a little bit more about Eurostar. So all around the side of the Great Hall, you've got different things to look around, little exhibitions. And this one just here is of a model railway, bit of a bigger scale than your small Hornby ones. There you go, look at all the details on the buildings and things. I mean, I love all this kind of stuff, and the amount of dedication and passion what goes into making yet one of these buildings, never mind a whole layout like this. It's really nice. Can't see any trains going around at the moment though.
The one's just coming out of the tunnel here just now.
One coming down here, is it? Ah, there we are. Down this way. Oh, secret door. There we are, look.
It's misbehaving itself.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I must mention, we know a lot about operators' rides, but have you ever seen an operator cabin for...
Ah, yeah, look at all those in there, yeah.
Fascinating.
Plenty of carriages on that one there, like a freight train. Right, so we're now on our way to the perfect place to be, Tokyo Disney Sea. There we go. So we're on a Japanese bullet train just here. You can get on the coach, you can sit down, you can enjoy it. And we're just saying the smell in here as well. It's like Japanese transport and just Japan in general had its own distinct smells, didn't it, when you're walking around and things. And it feels like that on here still. It really captures that.
The way the air is contained inside the carriage. Just a disclaimer, we're not actually going to Tokyo Disney Sea, we are still in the museum, just so that people don't get confused.
I wish we were, but you can get on all these and look around. There's a screen just there, telling you all about it, showing it in action. Yeah, the Central Japan Railway Company. So here you get the opportunity to actually go inside a steam train here as well, but this one a little bit different. It's huge, this one. I believe it was for China, this one.
5.2 metres scale.
Yeah, look at that. Plenty of headroom. Look at this. Feed the flames there. There you are, look at that. Huge tank there for all the coal. Amazing to see it. It's great. How you find it? Like, not really being into trains as much as maybe some of the people watching.
Just to let you know, if you don't speak Chinese, it actually does say, please keep the hand tools clean.
Oh, there you go.
I'm very good at translating, aren't I?
Yeah, we read it somewhere.
I read it somewhere.
Yeah, you're enjoying it so far.
Wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah, great to walk around.
The thing is, even if, same as me, don't know much about trains and locomotives, it's nice just to come here and see something different.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, we're very lucky to have something different. You wouldn't see this in a lot of other countries, so I think we're quite blessed to have it, really.
Because we're in a lot different environment, working with trains, in between trains, in our own trains.
The train now standing at platform 2 is the 10:36 Seaside Special, calling at all stations to Sunny Bay. We would like to apologise to passengers waiting on platform 9 for the late running of the 9:45 service to Derby, which is delayed due to a signalling failure at Nottingham Junction.
Here's a look then at one of my favourite locos, the Evening Star. This was built in 1960 in Swindon. Look at the size of this and the fact you can get right underneath it here, right next to the wheels on this thing. Look at it. It's just amazing to be standing. Imagine standing on the platform with this pulling in, and especially if you're a kid looking up at it. It's huge. I mean, look at it in comparison to me, standing right next to the wheel. Look at that. Amazing. And again, there's lots of different steps and things to go up there. Some you can get on, some you can just have a look at. Brilliant. But yeah, I really like this. I think it's the green colour scheme that I really like on this particular train. Another one there from British Railways on that side. Love it. Yeah, the size of these things, really impressive. And obviously you've got all these different boards to tell you. Honestly, I recommend, if you want to walk around it all, read the board, see it in detail, probably 3 or 4 hours at least, really. Maybe even longer if you want to read all the boards about all the different locos that you can see.
And show you it working in all its glory. So, to begin with, why do we need turntables? Sounds like a daft question, but tender engines like the one behind me can be driven just as easily backwards as they can forwards. However, there are 2 key factors that affect that, and that is the driver and the fireman. Now, obviously, if you're driving along chimney first, you have this lovely cab here, acting as a little bit of protection from the elements. This is an electric power turntable, so we do need to check that we've got power. That horrific sound shows that we do indeed have power. So, Ollie is going to start by turning the turntable electrically, but before we go much further, ladies and gentlemen, this is quite an old 1954 turntable, therefore it is quite hard to stop it very quickly. So if you wouldn't mind all just taking a step back from the barriers and just moving any coats or any children bags, anything hanging over the barrier, that would be fantastic. I will just check that everyone's doing that on the
Fascinating to see the turntable in action just there. And here we can actually go right underneath one of the locomotives here by this little corridor what's been built just here. So this is great, we get to see the workings underneath. And look at all of this under here. It is amazing though to think just how old these are and how many thousands of miles these have travelled. They don't look in a bad shape, do they?
This is
really?
actually a working locomotive, I've just read on the sign as well.
Yeah.
That's why the oil and grease you can see on there is still quite wet, because it is actually still used quite commonly. It's just the one that happens to be parked on here today that you can see right underneath.
Yeah, I wonder sort of how often these get taken out. Interesting to know. But obviously things do always change here, and different locos do come in, different ones go out, you know, and that's what the turntable's really good for. Obviously they can bring that out. Obviously this used to be an old engine shed, hence why that was built. It wasn't built for the museum, but obviously it's a perfect thing for them now, because it means if they need to get a train out onto the main line, then they easily can do. I think there's 24 different tracks, she said, around here in the circle for all the different locos.
What's really interesting as well, you think about the engineering of these trains, and you know, with the technology we have in today's society, we're very lucky that machinery can do the things that this has been created as, whereas something like this was made by hand. There isn't big, heavy, you know, robotic arms and machinery to make the things that you see in here. Actually, everything here has been made by hand. When we look at the architecture and the structural work on some of these, fascinating, because each and every one of these bolts has been secured by human hands.
Yeah, no big machines. Like you see how cars are made now with these big robo-arm things, you know.
Yes, we can turn out 1,000 cars an hour in some factories. However, can you really fault the hard effort and handwork that's been put into making detail?
Yeah, 100%. Mail rail. There's that. You can actually go and ride one of these now through old tunnels in London, and that's something that will be coming up on Adventure Sean this summer. I've got it booked in, so make sure you stay tuned for that. It'll be a good one to go and see. So now inside one of the coaches for an ambulance train. This wasn't here last time I came, and you can see just here they've got like projections just there to simulate people on their beds. Quite interesting. There we are, all different photos and things around the side. That's the thing about the rail network, it can soon get people about without the traffic on the roads and things. All different medicines in there, look. More projections inside. There's a look in one of the other coaches just here.
Come on, you come and take a seat. Marvellous. Oh, isn't it wonderful?
God, that Coke really fits in there, doesn't it? That Coke Zero.
Would you believe that Coke has been there since 1893?
Somehow, I don't think so. Here we are then. This is one of the most famous locomotives out there in the world. This is the Milan. Look at this. We can actually get right up here so we can have a little look. Wow. I really like the finish inside there on all the pipe work. There we are. This is where your fireman would be. This is an impressive engine. There we are, on the 3rd of July 1938, this locomotive attained a world speed record for steam locos of 126 miles per hour. The fact that something like this can go 126 miles an hour is crazy, without electricity, you know, to reach that speed. Milan, with its beautiful paintwork, really nice colour scheme, famous around the world, this loco. And it's here now in Yorkshire at the National Railway Museum. Amazing. It's the only place in the world you can come to see this many old trains and historic trains. Look at that. It's that curved front as well, because obviously a lot of these steam trains have got like a circle on the front and the round. Whereas look at that, it's such a modern sort of feel to it. Yeah, even though it's an old train, it feels quite modern with the way it looks. I like how they've got a bridge just over it, a restored bridge there as well. But there's so much to see. Honestly, you could film for hours and hours in here. Obviously, I can't because it just go on for so long. But you need to come down here and come and see it, especially if you're into trains. Even if you're not into trains, come round, just have a look and to support their guys' work just here. But yeah, we're going to the North Shed now. Let's have a look. This is basically where they do a lot of work, and there's a lot of other little things to look about in here as well. There we are. So obviously in here you've got lots of other little things to look about in cabinets, and basically all things in platforms and stations, all that kind of stuff. And then we get to see where a bit of work is taking place. Honestly, it's huge. Yeah, I wasn't joking when I told you about the size of it. Like, you look at that first room and you think it's big, and then you see the Great Hall and like the North Shed in here. Honestly, it's a day's out for in here. If you're really into trains a lot, then it's the ultimate place to come. It's a full day out here. For someone like me who's interested in them but doesn't know a lot, because I don't. Like, I'm not claiming to know everything about trains. I really don't. I just really am fascinated by it it all. For me, it's more like a, you know, maybe 3-4 hour thing to walk around. And then someone who's maybe not into trains but just wants to see what it's all about, maybe an hour, a couple of hours just to stroll around. But no matter what, definitely come down here and support these guys. And if you've got a bit of loose change, it's definitely worth dropping a donation in for keeping this alive and keeping that railway dream running, really.
I mean, we've been here for 3 days and we're not left yet, have we? Still in the same warehouse. It's lovely though. Wow.
This is a really nice coach just here, and just behind it some signs all on the wall just there. Obviously the Yorkshire Main side embarks, Doncaster North, Doncaster South, Haxby Road. You got some good ones here as well. Can you just start off by reading the top one for me, Alex, just for all the viewers out there? What's up?
Landfair, Pilgrim, Girl, Goggery, Quinn, Robin, Lanty, Silo, Goggogoch.
William, Logo, Go, Cha. And underneath Thorpe Junction.
Can you give me the easy one?
No, sorry about that. It was just a random selection.
Yeah.
Yeah, a random selection.
Totally fair.
Yeah. So we've had a look round all of the main rooms really here now. Like I say, not loads of detailed look rounds because you need to come here and see it yourself. It's amazing to see it all. But obviously this is a really nice section because this is built right next to the main line just here. Obviously you can actually see all the trains going past. There's one just there. And this little screen just here, well, all these across show you all the different stations and tracks in the area just here. You got York Station and obviously your departure board up there for the actual station itself, which yeah, is located just outside here, and you can go out onto the balcony and see some trains in action. There's York Station. It was built in just the perfect place, wasn't it? Well, like they say, it used to be an engine shed, so obviously it was going to be right next to the train station, but obviously York's still a very busy station and it's a really nice building just there. And yeah, if you want to see some more of York, we have done a video from the chocolate place I went to as well, which was good, like the story of York and how chocolate was sort of born here, so it's well worth checking that one out also here on Adventure Sean.
Have arms which move downwards to the off position. These signals control running movements.
So there we are, it's come to the end of this video here from the National Railway Museum located in York. It's well worth coming to visit. Like I say, come along, visit all the different sheds, see the locos, and there's so much more that I haven't shown you in this. Yes, we've looked around all the main rooms, but obviously there's so many different signs, there's interactive screens, there's talks that are free to come and watch throughout the day, and obviously you did see us see the one on the turntable, but there's a lot more than that to come and discover here as well. You don't have to be in trains to enjoy it here. You don't have to sort of be into it all. You can just come along and just soak up the atmosphere of it, because it's fascinating to see all of this. And of course it's all about our British history and just the railway industry in general. It's well worth coming along, and I think Alex has enjoyed it for the first time seeing it.
Anyone around the world could really appreciate some of the things. People especially who enjoy British history, who are American, you know, from anywhere in the world, to be honest, would really enjoy coming here and having a peaceful walk around experience. There's a cafe. It's really nice to spend a good few hours there, so I agree. Yeah,
there's a simulator just down here as well, and yeah, this is probably the best view in all of it, to be honest, and you want to be following it around in that order, in my opinion, because obviously if you come straight into here, obviously you're sort of taken away from that impression of coming in for the first time and thinking, wow, it's the Great Hall. You want to start off at the top and work your way round. But thank you very much for watching another video here on Adventure Sean. Stay tuned for lots more content on the future in this channel, and that leaves me with one more thing to say. Get out there and have your own adventure. See you real soon.